Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to joining our today's webinar on Copilot for Power BI. I am Margaret.
Hello everyone, I'm Chalak.
Welcome. I think welcome everyone to the lunchtime session. We've got a packed hour with you all. Just really thank you everyone for joining us today. This is a little bit about us. I've got myself and I've got Zalik here with me. She will be bringing on her Power BI superpower into the session, and we'll be, let's have a look at our agenda today. A little bit about Altus. So we have been in the data and analytics industry for the past 27 years, 160 employees across Australia and New Zealand. There's a lot of satisfied customer here, and Zalik and myself are based in the Auckland office. So with the hour ahead, this is what we've got in for you guys. A key takeaway. I will start off with key takeaway. If there's one thing that I would like you to take away from this webinar, this will be it. Followed by a little bit about what is this Copilot for Power BI thing. It is very popular, and we have a lot of you online today wanting to know about this tool, and we are all about this. Zalik will be bringing in her Power BI special power. She'll be doing the demo for around 20 minutes, talking about the ins and out. This will be the technical part of the webinar today. And I will go into the second part, which will look at how do we ensure that rolling Copilot for Power BI to your organization will be a successful one. We'll go through the top 5 questions that we get asked a lot, which might or potentially can be a showstopper for your organization, followed by the key successful factors. How do we make this successful? Of course, we want to share with you how Altus can help with our experience in this space. And we would like to leave Q&A sessions 15 minutes at the end of it. We will work hard to make sure that there is a 15 minutes window so that you can ask questions. Please use the question and answer box to ask us any questions. We will try and address all of them towards the end of the session. And please note that the session is recorded, so that if there are people that have signed up and missed the webinar, we'll be sending the recording to you. And during the sessions, we will be asking you guys questions as well, so that we get an idea that whether what we are talking about is relevant to you or your organization as well. So that's all we have in store for this hour. Let's dive straight in. So if there is any key takeaway that we would like you to take away with you from this webinar, this will be it. Treat it like a baby. It is interesting, probably you'll find it confronting, but it needs to be looked after, guided, monitored, guardrails in place so that it won't fall or fail. And I think with good nurturing, the baby will become more of the human that you want it to become. And I think it goes with Copilot or Power BI or any AI models that you need to look after it if you want it to become what you think or what you want the AI tool can do for your organization. So let's dive into what is Copilot for Power BI. Copilot is built upon a foundation of generative AI. Generative AI is an umbrella within the AI space, which focuses on text, audio, and visual data. Copilot was developed using large language models, which again is another subset within the generative AI space, which looks only at text data. You can see it's done through a partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI. OpenAI is the company that built ChatGPT. So you can think of Copilot for Power BI as Power BI with GPT, or with ChatGPT or ChatGPT on Power BI. And if you are a seasoned Power BI users, just like Zalek here, then you understand what this is saying. Essentially, it's saying that you can now describe in plain language and ask Copilot for Power BI to do things that you normally have to do it yourself within the Power BI space, whether it is asking it to build a report or visual or create you a DAX, which is the coding language for Power BI. But there's a lot of Copilot things out there at the moment. There's Copilot for 365, Copilot for security, Copilot for Outlook, Copilot for everything, pretty much. But our webinar today only focuses on Copilot for Power BI. Here is a list of personas. Us data people love to talk about the different personas. So these are the probably normal data people that will benefit potentially from having Copilot or Power BI. For example, if you are a data modeler, people that creates the semantic model, setting things up for the querying side of it, you can now ask Copilot, for example, hey, can you create me a measure with from a particular table? I'm in insurance. My client is insurance. That's why I'm using insurance terminology here. But any table adjusting for filters. So it will create the DAX, which is the coding language for Power BI, just as much as it's like SQL. And if you're a report builder, people that are responsible for creating reports and dashboard, you can now ask Copilot to say, hey, can you create me a visual showing top 5 performing products by profit margin, segment, date, region? But yes, people can wear many hats, so it can be the same person who is a data modeler and report builder or different people. And then there's the report consumers. That's your business user. You can now ask Copilot to say, hey, can you summarize this sales dashboard or report for me in plain language? So these are the typical personas that will benefit from Copilot or Power BI. But at the same time, I would like to ask the audience to think a bit more, like who else might benefit from having Copilot for Power BI? Caveat, if it is done right. If it is done right, then I believe that there is potential for Copilot or Power BI to have benefits beyond the existing data team or the personas that we talk about. Because as essentially you are democratizing data and insights to the wider organization. It shouldn't limit to the data team specifically or the immediate business around the data team, but to the wider organizations that can leverage data and insights. So I think I've done the initial bit of talking. Keeping it short, I will hand over to Zalek.
Thanks, Margaret. Hello, everyone. So today I'm excited to showcase some of the key features of Copilot in Power BI through a live demo. Next slide, please. All right. So here, these are some of the sections which we'll be covering in the Copilot demo, that is prep data with AI. So it's a brand new feature which has been added in the Power BI desktop version just about 3 months ago. Then we will get into asking Copilot's questions in natural language and see how it reacts. After that, we will ask Copilot to basically create visuals or report pages for us. And then we will delve into some lesser known features, which is the DEX query creation and the question answer setup, which you will soon be able to know how important those are. So without further ado, let's get started. Yeah, just bear with me a minute. I'm sharing my screen. React with hearts or thumbs up if you can see my screen. Yeah, all good. So here, this is just a sales overview report. As you can see, the sales is distributed from year 2011 to 2016. I can see sales amount cards, budgets distributed it over the region. comparison of sales amount and budget by the quarter, and also the amount distributed over category. From the first looks of it, what do you think, Margaret? Is there something going wrong in this report?
Uh, it looks normal. I guess that's my answer. It looks like a typical report, and the look and feel is similar to what you see in a normal Power BI report.
Yeah, that is correct. We will get to know that soon enough. So here you must have noticed that there are two new icons which are not visible in the usual Power BI uh, desktop version. So that's prep data for AI and Copilot. This will only pop up when your admin tenant settings have the new Copilot feature. That is, if you have Fabric F2 or higher subscription.
Right.
I will go ahead and click prep data for AI. So this section is introduced by Copilot where you can basically do three things, that is simplify your data schema, add verified answers, and add AI instructions. Let's go into simplify the data schema. So here we can deselect fields that Copilot doesn't need, which means that you are basically helping it to focus on relevant data. So it improves its accuracy and response time. So these are all the tables which I have in my report and all the columns inside it. If you notice, I have deselected some of the key columns because I don't feel that this would be useful for Copilot to analyze. Similarly, if you have, for example, a customer table and you don't want Copilot to access some sensitive columns like the first name or last name, you can always go ahead and deselect these ones.
Can I say that using my baby analogy, you are trying to get Copilot for Power BI to focus.
Yeah, exactly right. So you need to specifically tell it of what to do and what not to do. Similarly, to like avoid confusion, if I already have a date hierarchy column here and year, quarter, month, day is already added into it, I can just go ahead and like deselect the month and quarter from here to reduce the cardinality. Just then we'll go and click apply. It would be applied in the backend. So we won't close it yet because I still need to go through next two options for you. This is verified answer. So it is telling us that you need to set up the verified answer. How we can do it is we can select the visuals which are in your report and then add relevant questions and answers to it. I will come back to this section in a minute. The last one is add AI instructions. So here we basically embed business logic, industry terms, or priorities directly into the model. So Copilot better understands the context. So yeah, as you said, Margaret, that we need to explicitly say everything to everything to Copilot of what to do and what not to do. Here I have specified that okay, if there are some sales related questions, you use this particular table. If it's budget related, use the budget table. The geography patterns may influence the sales patterns. So it understands the context of your report and some of the business terms.
Yeah, so you can say you don't have a specific template, right? You can just write in plain language what you want it to do, right?
Yes, that is correct. If you see, I have kind of 10,000 characters limit, so you can go ahead, be creative, and get on it.
That's a lot of words. I don't think, as stated, people likes to write that much. I think we like to do stuff. But I will press on the analogy. This is where the guidance, the nurturing comes into play. Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. Okay, I'll go ahead and close it. And as I said, we need to add some visuals to verified answers. So how that is done is, for example, if I want to add the sales amount and budget by quarter visual, I'll go ahead, right click it, uh, click the option set up as verified answer. Now, if you see this particular tab is showing me different results than last time. Uh, so what I'm basically doing here is if a user asks a question on a sales trend, for example, and if I want Copilot to use this particular visual to answer that question, then I'll add it here. It also gives you suggestions. So by seeing what visual we have added, it is giving me options like how have sales changed over time. So do I want Copilot to use this visual when someone asks it? Yes, I'll go ahead and click plus. If the question is framed in a different way, let's say what is the trend in sales amount by year? Yes, I want to add that as well. uh, One thing to notice is if you just refresh the suggestions, it will also give you some more options to add in. So that
Wow.
is quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So that
if
means that
you,
there's so many ways to ask the same question.
yes, yeah, because you never know what kind of terminology or words any user is going to ask, because it's going to differ from department to department. So this would be quite handy in that case. And in case you don't like the questions or you feel that they are not correct, you can always add the plus icon, manually enter your question and then add it over here. So you have that flexibility as well. Then I'll just go ahead and click apply and close it. So next time when a user asks questions on this, Copilot will be easily able to answer it. All right. Next section, let's just go ahead in the Copilot chat icon and ask some questions.
Okay, so this is where you test it out, right?
Yeah.
How your baby has been trained.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I'll just go ahead and start with simple questions, then we'll move to more complex. So let's just say list top 5 product names in the year 2015. It usually takes like 10 to 15 seconds to answer the question, but if it's like the first question initially, it might take a bit longer.
Okay, so it needs a little bit of warm up.
Yes. It's getting there. Come on.
I can see the emoji. It's got
All
there.
right. It's got there. Okay. So, yeah, see, it gave you a pop-up that, okay, why it was slow. Copilot is currently syncing with the data model. So it might be inconsistent until the sync is finished, as it was just the first question. Now let's see what answer has it generated. I just create a new page for us, add to that page so it's visible to the audience. Let
Cool.
me know if I need to zoom it, Margaret.
Yep, if you can zoom it a bit more, that
Yeah,
would be great.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay, so here we can see that it has given us the top 5 products over sales. I am not going to trust the first answer, so let's go ahead and compare. Okay, I will add products into the table for you. Let's add the sales amount.
and the year
All right.
is 2015. Yeah.
Sometimes I have also noticed that it does not filter the year for you correctly. So we will see if it kind of has filtered it or not. Oh yeah, it has.
It has.
It has. So dates are in 2015. So I will go ahead and add the year filter for my table as well. All right. So as seen, first products UM70, 11, 12, 54, 43. And yeah, that is what I am getting in the below.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, that was definitely quick.
Yeah, and that's
Uh,
how you normally do it, right? If it's not
yeah,
Copilot or Power BI. Yeah.
yeah. So I would say that it is quite useful when you have to just quickly gather like top products or what are your top states having the most opportunity this year. It
Yeah.
is quite handy for that kind of questions. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's try give it some complex question, and by complex I mean I wanted to like use 2 or more tables to
Yeah.
fetch my answer. So
Yeah.
let's ask. This time we will ask it to create a report page for us. So create a visual which shows sales trends by category and region. One thing to notice that I'm asking sales, which is coming from sales table, category, which is coming from the category segment table, and region, which is coming from geography. So we have basically increased the complexity. Uh,
Cool.
Now let's go ahead and see how it reacts. Okay, it automatically created a new page for me because this time I asked for a visual. Last time I just asked it to list it down. So okay, I am seeing the title is there, sales trend by category and region, amount, but I am not seeing the region or category anywhere in this particular chart. It's just showing me the sales trend over the years. Now the question is why? So let's dig into the backend model and see why it was not able to give us the answer.
Now you have to blow it up from my eyes. Oh, yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, as we can see, we have the sales table directly linked with customers, date, and products, which is good, direct and clear link. But I am seeing some definite flaws. That is, sales is not connected to geography directly. It is going via customers. And remember that we asked the question on region and sales, and as there was not a direct link, it might have been confused. Similarly, with the category one, it is not directly linked to sales. And I'm also seeing some other things like bi-directional relationship going on, inactive ones. So I would say this basically proves that if your model is not accurately designed, then what all steps you take in prep the data for AI part or ask it questions in a more detailed way, it is going to get confused.
So it might still, even though you've asked the verified, you look at the verified answer and the AI instructions. So there is a play in the underlying semantic model in
Yes.
terms of getting the right response. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
as far as now, the this particular Copilot version, it doesn't basically restructure your model automatically.
Right.
It won't remove ambiguity or fix your circular relationships. It doesn't even optimize the performance, like reduce the columns and rows automatically to reduce the size of your file.
Right.
Just going to do a basic validation check of the relationships. It's not going to go in detail and change it for you.
Right.
So now I'll take you to a different report where I have designed the model in a different way, and then we will ask Copilot similar kind of questions and see how it reacts. Yeah, give me a second.
Sure. No, I won't be able to use this kind of report.
I know, Margaret, you won't be.
I won't be
All right.
satisfied with it.
Yeah, I hope we can see the second report.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So here I can see that it's opportunity overview, some numbers of opportunity count over regions, different sales stages, revenue opportunity distributed by the year and region and state. So let's go ahead and ask a similar question to Copilot.
So this is a different report, right?
Yeah.
But underneath, like it looks similar, right? To on the surface, it's another report.
Yeah.
But you're saying that it's because it's structured differently. It might get different answers. Is that where
Yeah.
you're going? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to show you the backend structure in a minute, but
Okay.
let's first see uh, and ask it the same question and see how it reacts. So we can actually compare both of the models. All right, I'll go and ask, can you create a report page displaying revenue performance by region and segment? Segment is similar to category for this report. For year 2024, let's say. This time I'm going to add please. Maybe that's the magical word it needed. Let's see. All right,
It
it's taking
looks like it's warming up.
All right, so it was this time it was able to give me a proper chart where revenue is distributed by region, Yeah, you still need to help it to like name the visuals definitely. So this should be revenue by region, not and segment. But it has given me another kind of a horizontal bar chart where the revenue is distributed by segment. So
Mm.
this is definitely different than what we got in the last report.
Yeah, it's definitely closer to where we want it
Yes,
to be. Yeah.
yes. Okay. And it also adds a year filter for you. So I can go ahead and add 2024. Yeah, that's what I said. That sometimes it will just give you a slicer to select, even if you say give it for 2024. As it
Mm.
generated a whole report, you can just select the year from here according to your choice. I will go ahead and compare this one as well to just be sure that these answers are correct and it's just not some pretty looking chart. Yeah, I'll go total revenue. Then we will go and select the region. As we can see, East is the highest, Central is in the middle, and West has the least revenue. If you see the tooltips in the East, the revenues exactly match.
Yep.
Central 1748 and West 1097.
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you the backend reporting now of
Mm.
why it worked in this one and not in last one.
Mm. It
Okay.
still gives a good, decent report in terms of
Yes.
chart, but I think if you
Mm.
want it to be like you normally do, like you
Yeah.
make it really pretty, then you still need to do some work, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it currently it won't give you like visuals related like similar to your organization's color theme or things like that you
Yeah.
still need to do, but it will give you a first draft version so you know what to do next.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we can see that there is a sales table and some smaller or dimension tables, I should say, around it. So this kind of modeling is basically called star schema. So for the audience who must not be aware of this word, it's basically a database design used for analysis and reporting, where you have one bigger table with important values like revenue, opportunity counts. You call it the fact table, and around it are the dimension tables, where you have the details about that particular revenue or opportunity count. That can be partners, the dates, the locations, or the products.
Mm. The main thing here, what you're saying is the
Hmm.
relationship, right? It's clear relationship, and it looks simple enough. There's
Yes.
no, it reduces the ambiguities between tables. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would definitely say that there are less tables compared to what you actually have in the real world scenario. But what I want to emphasize here is I have created direct connections, no inactive links. The cross filtering is one to many, which is ideal. So according to Power BI, if it's also available in lots of documentation. It is definitely important when your semantic model is using star schema,
Yeah.
and it improves the performance of Copilot, its responses, and even the time it takes to answer your questions.
Cool.
Yeah, now let's go ahead and check the Dex query view, which I'm very excited about. All right. Yeah, so if you would see, there is a tab here called Dex query view just below the model tab. I will click in here. Here, this feature you can just type in your natural language question here, and the Copilot will create the Dex formula for you. So for doing that, you have to click the Copilot preview here, and okay, I'll just ask it to create a measure for me. So let's say create a Dex measure to find the top 5 states with the highest revenue in the year 2025. This feature is can be useful for people who are new to Power BI and also the experts. For the newcomers, I would say this is a good starting point to understand and learn that how DEX queries are created, get used to with the syntax. And for the Power users, I would say this is a good point to like it gives you a good nitty-gritty start of
Yeah.
how to get quick dex queries and not just go ahead and do it yourself, and it improves your, I would say, productivity,
Yeah.
as this is quite handy. Yeah. Okay, now I see it has generated a dex measure for me, created some variables, summarized into dim accounts, date column, use the top n function to list down the top 5 states, nice, and
I like
ordered
it that
by,
it's commented. The codes are actually commented, which you don't get.
yes.
I give AI a tick on this one.
Nice. Okay, let's run it if it's giving us correct results. Okay.
Okay, so you can try running it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so before you're comfortable to add it in your model, I would suggest everyone to like run it first. And if you're even not you're quite skeptical that okay, what if this is not right, you can always go back to this one, check the top states, if it's showing you the correct result yourself, and then come back here, and this page won't like disappear. If you go to a different tab, it will still stay there.
Mm,
So you can verify the answer and then choose to keep the query or discard the query.
mm,
One thing I liked is if you feel that you want to add some more things into it, as in like add a few more joins into the columns, filter it according to your business question, you can always go here and edit it. So
okay.
this is not like last uh, the last code which you just need to add it into add it into the Power BI model. You can always edit it.
Mm,
If you go ahead and click the keep query option, what it does is then it will ask you that do you want to update this into your model, and usually the update model with changes will change into one. I think it didn't do it this time because I would already have a measure on this one.
right. Cool. Yeah, it's so cool. I think this one will add a lot to people who have
Hmm.
existing Power BI experience. So no
Yeah.
longer you need to Google for your decks. You just go straight in here and start. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now I'll move ahead to the question and answer setup. So if you go in the model view again, in the question and answer tab, you will see there is a setup icon. So here you can basically add synonyms to your fields in the data table. So it basically gives the users the ability to use similar terms, because some for example, marketing team would be using sales as the word revenue, while
Mm,
as the finance term would be referring it to sales. So
mm,
if your organization is using sales and revenue as a same thing, then you can just go here and next to the sales amount, you can add revenue as well in that column.
yeah.
So your
And
Copilot knows what to answer. Yeah.
this is the page where I would say this is the translation page, and I think
Hmm.
different people in the organization speak different language. If you've been in the industry for quite some time, you know what we mean by saying talking with the same language. I think this is your translation page, and I
Hmm.
can't stress how important it is. The synonyms here
Yeah.
is very important. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just browse through here. There are all the different tables, and you can add synonyms to it. You can manually add it over here, or you can use Copilot suggestion to add it. Okay, the importance. Let's see what this has. All right, so it does give me some suggestions, but this is definitely not relevant to business. So
I
I'm
love this
not going to go
example.
ahead and edit.
Yep, yep. And I think this is a key thing to highlight, right? Like
Hmm.
dim partner from a business context, and they shouldn't be a dim lover or dim companion. But it is not wrong in a certain context, but probably not in just this context. Our star schema is not related to that. Maybe if we are in a I don't know, dating company, then we might have a star schema of this sort. But for what
Yes.
she was sharing, it's not the right context, and that's
Hmm.
where we need to put the right synonyms. And you need to
Yeah.
check.
Yeah. So yeah, this kind of proves that okay, you need to definitely have a human oversight of what Copilot is suggesting suggesting you, and don't just go blind and add whatever it suggests, thinking that okay, yeah, it's a quicker solution. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna add these things. But yeah, one thing to note is, Margaret, it is not wrong. Partner can be a wife and a lover or spouse, but just not in our report.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, and one more thing, you must have seen there's a toggle button over here. So, for example, if I don't want users to ask questions on the account or account IDs or some sensitive columns, I can always go ahead and toggle this off. So it won't include in the question and answer setup. So that is also quite a useful thing. There are other options as well where you can go ahead and make Copilot kind of more foolproof, I would say. So it reacts accordingly when the users ask questions to it in the front end. As one more thing, yes, I want to also show you how it looks in the Power BI service, because
Right.
not all the teams have access to Power BI desktop version. So let's go ahead and see the Copilot feature in the front end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Meanwhile,
that's yes. Meanwhile, I want to ask
meanwhile,
the question.
yes,
If anyone wants to ask the Copilot or Power BI a question over the revenue and opportunity reports, feel free to pop it in the chat. Yeah.
yes. All right. Until you guys are typing some questions which you want to ask this model, I will go ahead and show you the Copilot feature in the Power BI service. So yeah, it's the same report which I just showed. You can see that Copilot gives you suggestions. That what would you like? Would you like it to add a report page, prepare a summary? I'll go ahead and click understand data. We haven't tried the summarize option yet, so I'll go ahead and see what is this report page about. I'll ask it the question and let's see what it gets us. All right, that was quick. So it gave us a general summary that, okay, this report provides an overview of sales opportunities, focus on total revenue and opportunity counts, segmented by year, state, region, sales stage. Yeah, which is exactly correct. Then it also gives us the comparison. For example, East leads in both opportunity count and the revenue. As we can see here, the opportunity count of East is highest. It also gives us state level information from this particular visual. So yes, it
Question.
does work. Yeah, sure.
Yes, I have a question from the audience. Like, what should I do to increase sales?
Okay, let's see. What should...
There's no please in the question.
I'm hoping it works. Okay, what should I do to
Increase sales.
See. To provide actionable recommendations for increasing sale, it would be helpful to analyze specific areas such as sales pipeline stages, regional performance, and top performing products or services. Would you like insights on which sales stages have the most drop offs, which regions have the most growth potential, or which products are driving the most revenue? So it also gives you options on the next counter questions you can ask it.
Yeah, I think what it's trying to do is to be more ask us back about, can you be more specific? And so that it can dive into. I can see that verb, but I think it's actually wants a bit more direction as to where we want to go into. But it's not wrong, and it's not bad, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, it also gives you the option that, okay, do you want a gender analysis? Let's say gender analysis. I want to see how it reacts. Oh, it's taking time. All right.
Whoa, okay. Yeah.
Okay, it says that the sales performance is strongest in the East region, which leads to both total revenue and opportunity counts, suggesting that strategies used there could be replicated in other regions. So it's giving it an idea of what you've done in East, just do it in other regions.
Yeah, so it is actually not bad, eh? I think yeah.
Yeah, it gives you some actionable bullet points as well, that okay, you can do this things.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think this is the part where the Power BI service. Will you have something else that you want to show our audience?
No, I think, yeah, this was all. Uh, I would like to summarize the demo saying that, okay, as someone who has worked in data up daily, I found Copilot as a great assistant, but not a replacement to data professionals yet. It is fast, intuitive, helpful, but it still requires a well-structured model and a human oversight to basically deliver the true business value, as we saw in both of our models.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you don't think that it will take over your job, essentially?
No, Margaret. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say, at least now. It might be more powerful in the next coming years, but I would still say that it can be used as a good companion or kind of an assistant for your work, but it still does not have the ability to like completely overtake human power. So I'm still safe.
Cool. Thank you for that. Let me just jump in for the second part.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much, Zalek. I hope that this will give our audience online a bit of a teasers of what Copilot for Power BI looks like and what it can do and what are some of the considerations and gotchas. I think it's like this is where how the webinar the idea got started. A client of mine said to me, Margaret, this is a game changer. But my response is like, but only if it's done right. And I think that's where I want to come in to talk a little bit about how do you make sure that it is right. And I want to look into the key questions that we got asked a lot. The first one, one of the first 5 questions, the top 5 is, do people know how to use it? It is an important one. And I think my analogy for that is if you have a new electric car and you've been driving a petrol car the whole time, it's not like you don't know how to drive, but you want to know how to drive this specific electric car. And I think it's the same with Copilot for Power BI or any AI models, I think to that effect, is people needs to know how to use it proper. It's not like people don't know how to ask questions, but we need to learn to ask question in a way that the AI models can learn and understand. And I think that's where the data and AI literacy come in. Data literacy, I think is very important. We are talking by that I mean data literacy is that not just the data people. It's an organization-wide thing where people understand the importance and the role, how important each piece of data coming into the organizations right from the front end, not when it comes out of the report. And AI literacy is asking the right question, how to ask Copilot the right questions. And there is a profession. There's a fancy term called prompt engineering, and people do this for a living. So you need to know how to ask the right questions to ensure that you get the right answer. And I think the showstopper for this is if people don't know how to use it or don't know how to ask the right question, you get the wrong response. And if you get the wrong response, you get poor adoption. So it's a flow-on effect. And this is an unknown quote, but I cannot agree more. Like data is the new currency. We need to be able to speak it. And it's not just data team people, it's the wider organization. Number 4 on the list is how can people be sure the data is accurate? And I think it doesn't have to be an AI thing. It has to do with everything. The answer might be you don't know. And I do have a quick poll for people online. Let me just get the poll ready. So if we put Copilot for Power BI on your most important dashboard or data set right now, do you think it will give you the right answer every single time you ask it like questions? How confident are you? I can see lots of response coming in. Whoa, Yeah, I think it's still going. But yes, I think conscious of time, I will stop the poll and let's have a look at the response. Can everyone see the response? Zalek, can you see?
We can see it.
So 91% of you said that you're not confident. And I think it is no surprise, but it's something that it can be addressed. You can see from Zalek demo that there are things within Copilot for Power BI to help you and to help your users once you guide the model, adding synonyms, making sure your text is simple. But what we are trying to say here is you can do so much within Copilot or Power BI, but if you really want to go full self-service and really give the data and insights to the rest of the organization, you need to look deeper into your data model. And by data model, I mean your star schema model underneath. That's a step even further before your semantic model. And I cannot stress how important it is. It is all about trust. Like you cannot have Copilot for Power BI being right some of the time. You want it to be right 100% of the time. Once you lost trust, there's no coming back. And just a simple architecture diagram that Selig was in here. So there you can ensure that you can simplify the text to make sure that it's more simple. It should be total sales or average. Relationships are clear as much as you can. There are quick wins. You can test out your model to see how good it is. But long term, if you really want to point towards self-service, real self-service, then I would challenge our friends online to look deeper into what we call the goal or the presentation layer. The Kimball star schema modeling technique has been around for decades, like 1996, I think, and it is the recommended modeling approach for Power BI even before Copilot, and somehow now it's coming back into fashion. So if it's done right in this layer, then your semantic model will be simple and your relationship will be easier. Then it will make it easier for Copilot for Power BI down the track. So, and then coming to number 3, who has access to what data and for what reason? So we are going into what we call the data governance land. This is where I would say you need good data governance framework. And by that, I mean people, process, technology, all needs to understand and know that data is an asset. So you need to put guidelines and principles to make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. And this is to manage risk. If it's not done right, if the data is either not accurate, not consistent, or not secure, so all these risks that are listed here, your security, privacy, non-compliance, misuse of data, will essentially put your organization at risk. And I cannot stress how important it is. I love this quote. It's not about control, but empowerment. But not control in the sense that people should be able to ask questions based on their role and get the appropriate answer. But they should not be able to abuse the Copilot for Power BI by asking the wrong question. They shouldn't be getting the answer if they are not supposed to. Coming into second, I know we're conscious we are a bit running out of time. So how much does this cost to operate this? It is a big one that we get asked a lot. Unfortunately, my answer is depends. If you have a pay Fabric or a Power BI premium license, you can now enable Copilot for Power BI. If you have been following this, you can see that they have lowered the entry barrier to entry. You used to need a F64, a much higher pay category to be able to enable Copilot for Power BI. But how much does it cost? You really have to run a pilot and monitor the usage to see that. It comes under your whole umbrella of capacity unit. For example, if you have fabric, that means that everything that you use will be leveraging that capacity units. So you can still look for the Copilot for Power BI specifically, but if you're asking question, you are getting data, you're running more queries, so you need to look at it from a more holistic way. But I can understand that it can be a showstopper in the sense that how we don't know the cost and we don't know the ROI until you test it out. But I would like to redirect that thinking, and question is like, what if it's done right? Then what if people don't need to wait for days to get answers, and you can empower your business users to go and ask the dashboard direct without going through a data team, for example. If you can get questions answered more quickly, then it will become a value conversation and not a cost conversation. And I think I want to go back to that thinking is, how wide do you want this thing to go? And finally, this is the number one questions that we have. It is, where is my data process and store? We've got asked this a lot. So I think if you have tenancy, if your home tenancy is either New Zealand or Australia, I think majority of our audience here today is New Zealand. You can store the data in New Zealand, but I think I mentioned before, the Copilot for Power BI is a joint partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI. So Azure OpenAI service is currently not available in New Zealand or Australia. You must enable cross-region processing in order to use Copilot for Power BI in either New Zealand or Australia. And what does this really mean is, your data is not necessarily going, but your prompts is, your questions, and some of the metadata will need to go outside of New Zealand, or if you're in Australia, for it to be processed. And I believe if data residency is a must for your organization, this might potentially be a showstopper. But I want to emphasize that there was a 30-day retention of prompts to check for abuse and misuse by Azure OpenAI service, and this has been eliminated. So they no longer hold even the prompts, and they are not using it for any of the training purposes. Like if anyone have more questions, have a chat with us. But I think that is something that is fairly recent that we want everyone on the call to know. So I think that comes to the key success factors. So ultimately, success is measured by what? Success is measured by user experience. If the users don't know how to use it, or you only get the right answer some of the time, it is no use to anyone, and that means the project fails. And that's why I think these are the 3 key success factors that you've seen already before. Good data and AI literacy, it is a must. Everyone needs to know how to use data properly nowadays, understand the role of AI and how we can learn from each other. It's not AI learning us, and we are learning AI as well. The importance of good model. Zalek has shown us some of the features that you can use within Copilot for Power BI. It will take you some way, but it will take you even further if you look into your goal or presentation layer to look at the underlying data model. And finally, the governance, data governance for AI. You might already have a data governance framework for data. It just needs to be extended to AI. But it is non-negotiable. There are risks involved. And here are the relevance help that we can provide from Altus. Yes, we've been around for the 27 years doing just that, data analytics and AI. here are some of the items that we are offering to our audience today. If you're using this code that we've shown, Zealot will send you the code and the connect page. We can, for the first 5 customers to sign up, we will come in and have a look, give you a half a day readiness assessment, give us your semantic model. We can have a look to provide some short-term or long-term recommendations. Or if you tell me, Margaret, I've got a data set or dashboard ready to go and test it out, we can do a 2-week pilot, and that will evaluate your readiness of your data set. We can test the permission. I think that's one thing. And we can put some metrics in place to measure the success, whether it's the performance or accuracy or access. And then we can work together to see how you can roll this out to the wider organization. Training, data literacy training, dimensional modeling training. We've been doing these kind of training, not just now, we have been doing these trainings. These are the bread and butter for us. And we have now included best practices for Copilot for Power BI in our dimensional modeling training. And data governance framework. It is a wider organization effort that involves a lot wider audience than the data team, but we have done a lot of it in the past and recently as well. There is a resurgence of doing data governance framework for sure. And here is our contact detail. If people are okay to stay online, we will have a look and try and address some of the questions. Let me have a quick look.
Yes, and in case we are not able to finish all the questions, yes, because I see there are a lot of you who are interested to know more. We have this session recorded, and you will find your answers in the follow-up emails as well.
Sure. Yeah. Let me just find a couple so that we can have a look. Okay, one of the question is, do you prep data at semantic layer or report, or can you do both? Yes, we do prep data at the semantic layer. I think report layer would be the same as semantic layer. And also, I think what Zealot has shown is at the semantic layer level, but I think what we're trying to emphasize is we need to go further to prep your data earlier in the process.
So for the prep data for AI, which I just showed in Power BI desktop, that would be done once you have taken your sources from third party or your SQL Server, Azure or data lakes and pulled it into Power BI. Then you can prep your data in Copilot desktop if that was your question. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is for you, Zealot. Let me just quickly put that question. Can it update visuals that you've already created, or is Copilot only able to create new visuals?
I have tested it by like trying to, I would say if it gives me a visual, a bar chart for regions versus the sales, and I ask it to do format changes to it, change the color of it, or add labels to it, Copilot won't do it for you. So it at this stage it does not do formatting on your existing visuals. But if you kind of give that visual to Copilot and tell it to enhance it or make it different, it will create a new page for you and create a new visual, but it won't change your existing one. And I think this kind of functionality is added in Copilot because it doesn't want your actual data to be overlapped by its answers. To keep both environments clean, it always creates a new visual and enhances it. It won't append with your original visuals.
Cool. So another one, I think, is directing to you, Zealot. Can we change the schema from Copilot command, or do you have to do it manually? I think I can answer this one, but you go.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think you can change. You can ask Copilot to just magically, can you change my schema?
No.
I think that probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe the next release, don't quote me on it. But no, not at this stage. I think the schema is one of the most important part. And at the moment, I think you still need to be you still need to change it manually. And I think when you say manually, that means going back a step to your goal and presentation layer to prepare your schema, your model, your star schema one step back.
Yep, and as mentioned at the end of the demo, in one of the limitations that it won't restructure your model for you. We have to do it on ourselves.
Cool. How are we doing with time? Okay. Yeah. So I think one of the comment is like this is more of a simplified schema with multiple sales order finance. So if it becomes a more complex schema, and I think what Zalek was showing is it will if it's not if the schema underlying schema is not star and if a multiple table multiple area the problem will separate. I think that's what we're trying to show is it will become harder for AI, for the Copilot for Power BI to understand and learn from. I think similar to us, like it's harder for us, it will be harder for Copilot for Power BI to understand that context. And you will need to do a lot more work. And I think the work that you put into the Copilot for Power BI may not be worth as much as going back a step to fix it at the goal and presentation layer.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to add that, as you said, Margaret, that the analyst or the report developer should have the business understanding before getting into the model preparation or starting the reports. It's same with Copilot. It won't just magically create the reports or answer your questions by just giving it the data set. You need to give it proper business context, and based on that only it will create your answers or provide you visuals. So yes, the understanding of the business value is must.
Cool. Yes, so I think I will answer one more. Can you limit the prompts of users so capacity isn't overconsumed?
I think at this stage it doesn't give you any option to limit the prompt from users, as far as we have seen. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's a good question in the sense that yes, if you're asking more questions, then it is trying to generate more answers, then it will lift the consumption in that on that front. But thank you everyone. I hope that sorry we haven't been able to answer every single question. But yes, I would like to close with one final thought. You know, I like to use analogy. It is this: if your data is good, your adoption will be good. Thank you everyone for joining us today's webinar. I hope everyone can get something out of it. We've tried to put everything into this hour, but if you have any questions from myself or Zalek, please reach out to us. We are more than happy to have a further chat on it and to answer any of your questions.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.